Knock it out the park, you ain't slam dunking the stats. That's shoot the breeze. Next man up with ice water in they vein, throwing the Hail Mary from football to alley hooping. Basketball, a winner's a winning. That's shoot the breeze. So if you insist, pass the baton in a relay race, or full court pressure opponent to be the GOAT on a Monday morning quarterback football jack. Next time you cross the goal line, that's shoot the breeze. And maybe then, only then, you may be able to take one for the team or spend to pitch a curve to the ball. In baseball, you ain't no home run, you ain't no touchdown, you ain't no three-point shot unless you tune in. Shoot the breeze. Watch and learn from this marathon. Aim for your shot and pass this along. The ball is in your court. Or did you lose a step at the crossover? Crossover and cross to get a feel of that. And that's shoot the breeze.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Wayne Breezy, and I am here to bring you my first ever podcast by myself. It's a little weird not having my boys here, but they will be here soon. Come. I see people in here chatting, man. I appreciate you, Roy. Celtics forever, man. You know how we represent. Oh, my man Nick is here, man. What's good, man? From the Shank Club NFL. Make sure you give him a follow. My man Tommy. Tough loss yesterday, Tommy. Tough freaking loss yesterday. We played softball. We were winning 6-2, I believe, and we lost 7-6. Sounds like a New York Mets story. But guys, I'm here to bring you some stuff, man. Before I kick off my show, and I promise it's going to be a quick show because I said I want to bring my fans something, something quick, something short, something to the point. I promise my shows probably won't be more than an hour long going forward, but I just wanted to do some type of testing pilot. You know how they do pilot shows for TV, so I thought I'd do something kind of cool like that. I get to look at you guys and see you guys, man, and make sure you guys are sharing this broadcast and hitting the like and subscribe button and all that good stuff. But let's get to some of the formalities, man. I am on Twitter. I know you know me as Wayne Breezy. That's who I am. But please follow the Twitter account right there down there where it says Shoot the Breeze 6. All right. You can also follow the page on Facebook. That's spelled all the way out. That's Shoot the Breeze. You heard it in the intro, right? And then on IG, it's Shoot the Breeze Pod TV. Make sure you give me a follow, man. Guys, there's so many things I'd like to talk about. All right. So, I'm a teacher, so I got to make sure that I have a game plan or a lesson plan or things like that. The things you guys know about that. 7-6, man. Shout out to my team, the UN squad, man. It's woo, tough loss, man. Tough loss yesterday, man. Listen, we were playing the game of our life against a pretty good team. I think this team we played. It's a little softball talk, so it's off topic. I think we scrimmaged them. Am I right, Tommy? I believe there was a scrimmage, and they beasted us in the scrimmage, right? I was like, I don't want to see this team again. I'm not sure if it was, I believe it was a scrimmage game. Man, we were out there, we were winning, yo. We had them 6 innings deep. I was like, yo, we got this. We just got to make these three outs, get to the 7th inning, try to put up a couple of more insurance runs, being up by 4. And then lo and behold, they had an inning in the end of the 6th. The bottom of the 6th, they had an inning, and we just couldn't hold on, and we couldn't get any runs at the top of the 7th, and we lost our second loss of the season. But it's all good. It's all love, and I can't wait to get back out there next Sunday where we're going to have a good time. All right, listen, guys. So I want to talk about, let's recap some things that we've been seeing. All right. So we know baseball's been going on. Baseball's the first sport that's kind of like been back. Then got hockey going on. Hockey's in the Stanley Cups. They're in the playoffs right now. My Bruins lost last night. Bummer. But yeah, hockey's back. We got baseball back. We got teams doing pretty well in baseball. Yankees doing their thing. Mets are trying to figure their way out. The Red Sox are pretty much a bombshell. Those are like the home teams. I'm from Connecticut, so if you guys didn't know, I'm from that area. Those would probably be like the 3 teams I'm going to talk about the most. It's the 3 teams that I see. But shout out to my man Tommy's, his Oakland Athletics. And it's funny because I don't want to get into some of the political stuff that's going down and whatnot. But a little thing happened with one of the coaches from the Oakland Athletics. We could save that for another show. But shout out to your team, Tommy. They are hot. And I told you they were going to be hot when we were at a softball practice. So kudos to your Oakland A's. They're doing their thing. And the National League, the Dodgers are good. They better be good. I mean, they spent a lot of money to be good. The Marlins were hot, and the Mets kind of cooled them off. The Mets took 2 out of 3 against them. Jacob DeGrom to me is the best pitcher in baseball right now. I know his record is not going to show for it by the end of the year, but you know what? I still think he's going to be in the running for his third Cy Young in a row. So he'll be trying to win 3 in a row. So shout out to Jacob DeGrom from the New York Mets. And you keep pitching, man. And right now they're starting to put up some insurance runs. So that's pretty good for you. So we got baseball covered. We got hockey is doing this thing. And let's talk a little bit about the NBA restart. So the NBA restart is pretty much almost done with their regular season, right? The regular season, I think teams have about 2 games left. You have one team I know that's undefeated. That's the Phoenix Suns, and they're trying to get into this playoffs. They're trying to creep their way up into the playoffs. They got to pretty much win out there. DeAndre Ayton, I think, came on the radio and said, "Listen, man, I had to." Due to COVID, I had to become a student of the game. Like I had to, I've been watching film and they look good. Like Devin Booker is playing lights out. Devin Booker, long as he can stay healthy, he is playing good. We're talking about a team staying healthy. Let's kick it over and let's switch to the Philadelphia 76ers. Guys, they're having some health issues, man. Ben Simmons may be out for the rest of the season. He just had surgery due to the injury that he suffered from. And Joel Embiid, I think, went out in the game yesterday, tweaked his ankle against the Portland Trailblazers, who pulled out another victory because Dame Lillard is playing some of the hottest basketball of his entire life. And he's been big shot Dame pretty much all season. He's been big shot Dame. So he's hitting those shots, man. You know what I'm saying? So NBA is looking pretty good on the restart, and the playoffs is on its way. And the question is, who are going to make these teams and what are the seedings going to be? And we're definitely going to talk a little bit about that later on as we do more episodes, man, here from Shoot the Breeze. I promise I'm not going to be before you guys long, man, but I just wanted to do a little recap of the NBA and what's going on. Hottest team out in the East, obviously, is the Milwaukee Bucks. They clinched. They're done. They already know they're going to be the number 1 seed. We got in the East, you got the Bucks. You have the Toronto Raptors at number 2, and Celtics pretty much locked up to number 3 because I don't think Miami can catch them at this moment. And Philadelphia. So it's going to be between Miami and Philly who's going to win that 4th seed. So it's going to be pretty tight going into the East. And then out in the West, the Lakers are struggling. The Lake Show is struggling. I still think they're going to be the team to beat when it comes down to playoff basketball. On my podcast earlier, I did with Celtics blog, the guys, my man Adam and my man Tim, we talked a little bit about the question that they asked, like what do you prefer? Like a veteran who has some years in the league, but it's never been to the playoffs, or would you have young players that have experience in the playoffs? And it was pretty cool, like the little debate that we were going through. Guys, when LeBron James is in the playoffs, man, he's a different monster. So I just want to put that out there. Now, he will be playing with players that don't have any playoff experience, like Anthony Davis, who's probably one of the greatest players to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Tony, what's good, my guy? What's good? I thought Mike was in here. I see my man Nick said something about Mike, but I don't think Mike is in here. But Tony, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Much love, man. We had a good episode last night. If you guys are not tuned in to Nothing But Niners, make sure you subscribe to the Nothing But Niners channel, man, here on YouTube, man. We put out a crazy good podcast. It was so heartfelt, man. I almost had to get a box of tissues, man. We sitting up there talking about like how we met our wives and things like that and how they became our wives and all this kind of good stuff, after we brought the 49er news. And I know there's some 49er stuff going on right now. That's why I'm not going to be up here long, because I need to watch that so I could prepare for those shows as well. But guys, so so the NBA restart is what it is. You got the West, got the East going on, man. Clippers out there doing their thing, guys. But Portland is looking really hot out in the West, and the Phoenix Suns are looking hot out in the West, and the West is hot. That's all I'm going to say. So I can't wait to see how all this stuff kind of like starts to settle down so we can simmer down, so we can kind of see what's going to shape out once these playoffs start next week. Playoffs, they're going to be starting next week. So this is going to be a good thing for the NBA, good thing for fans, good thing for sports. And shout out to the NBA for finding a way to keep this COVID under control, keeping COVID under control. Like they figured it out. They created a bubble. They said, hey guys, we're gonna fly you. You guys gonna come down here to this resort. You guys can't leave. Here's the stipulations. If you do, blah 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 or whatnot. And it was pretty cool how what the NBA is doing. I know that the NFL is gonna try to, do deem fit. Hockey's doing pretty good with the cases. And baseball, you have the COVID kind of still flaring up and certain organizations, St. Louis and Miami had their little stint and things like that, man. So guys, just do what you can to be safe, man. Wear your masks, keep the social distancing going on. I know from 49ers, I know watching those guys, man, they got these little monitors that they wear that allows them when they're not 6 feet apart, the joint lights up like it's Christmas. And when it lights up, that means they got a bad back. They step back, they take a step back. So, guys, teams are doing what they have to do. And I do want to get into that because we have something that's going on in college right now. And I believe some of the divisions are either foregoing their season this year. They may try to put it off to the spring. There's so many different things that's going on in college football. And Jim Harbaugh, who is one of my favorite coaches, guys. He was a Michigan guy, Michigan player. He came to coach the 49ers, and now he is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. And I thought I had some pictures I can go ahead and put up here for you, but for some reason they're not loading with StreamYard at this moment, but I do have them right here. And I just Harbaugh wrote a letter and he said, even though, he's going to abide by the rules of the Big Ten and things like that. My little cousin Chris Brown is in here. What's good, brother? Even though he's abiding by the rules of the Big Ten and what's going on, as far as the season, he feels like he has his organization, his players really under control. The cases of COVID are very minimum to none and things like that. And he's saying that if other teams can follow suit in what they're doing to prevent the cases of COVID from spreading, then there can be a college football season. And I thought this was a really interesting statement that he put out there. He's not necessarily going against, the dean of athletics for the Big Ten or things like that. He's just specifically saying, listen, guys, we have something here. We figured it out. Why don't you guys kind of like follow suit and see if, take it? And I guess my only issue with that is it's all good and dandy when you have your players there and no one else is there. Now, when you start intervening the rest of the population of the college campus and they start traveling and things like that, that's when it can kind of get tricky. So I kind of understand if the divisions. I know Yale opted out of football. I know some other teams have opted out, like the Army, like some they're teams that are not going to play in college. And we could say that for another show. Like, does that hurt the chances of kids getting drafted? Because we got to talk about the NBA draft that's coming up. You got the college football draft that'll be coming up next year. And if there's no college sports, like, how does that affect them going forward? So I thought this was a really interesting article. If you get a chance, man, go out there, read the statement that Jim Harbaugh put out about what's going on with COVID and how he has his joints under wrap. And a lot of schools are going to be, yes, Bay Lost Wages says MAC had postponed their season till the spring. You're absolutely right. There are teams that are saying, we'll just play in the spring. We'll just play in the spring. And playing in the spring means some of those players that will be getting drafted probably won't play because why? They have to prepare for the draft, or prepare for the combine and things like that. Because I believe that it's weird. I wonder if things will get pushed back going forward. You know what I'm saying? And I think it all comes down to how this NFL season kicks off. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about next. A little bit of NFL news, what's going on. You got players opting out. Just listening to some of the reports that are going out there, players will still have a chance to opt out due to certain circumstances. For example, during the season, if a player gets sick, or during the season, if a family member gets sick and things like that, or, they have to deal with the death or whatnot, they may opt out for the season. And I just want to clarify this because we talk about this on Nothing But Niners all the time. And I know you've pretty much heard a lot of reports on the opting out. When they opt out, that does not mean they're no longer on the team. That means they're just foregoing this particular season and they're going to be under contract for the next season. So they'll get paid a stipend to cover them for this season. I think it's about $150,000. And then the following season, they'll be owing that back. Plus, they'll have to play. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like players are just going to get paid to sit at home and do nothing. No, they'll still be under contract for another year. So they have to make up a year on that contract. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there and things like that. So the NFL, man, things are kicking off. Training camps are going down. If you're a Patriots fan, what are you thinking? If you're a 49ers fan, what are you thinking? It's weird because we're not seeing the guys practice. There's no reports going on. We're not getting a lot of video. We're not getting any video footage. Why? Because they're going through a lot of COVID testing and things like that. Yes, they are practicing without pads or whatnot. There's supposed to be preseason games. This is preseason time, guys. So I wonder how you guys feel when it comes to the NFL. I wonder how you feel about there being no preseason football, right? You're not able to evaluate players that, you want to see make the team, or the coaches can't evaluate their players that they want to see make the team. So they're pretty much kind of like going off of either college film, previous film from other teams, or just off of goodwill and strength of how they feel like you're going to fare or fit in their particular systems. So I want to know how your teams are doing, man. I know we're going to have 49er fans in here. We're going to have Patriot fans in here. We got a Washington football team fan in here right now, right? We just got fans in here, and that's what this show is going to be about, man. We're going to talk about, your experiences and things like that. So I want to know how farewell, man. Send me an email, sportsbreezy@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and we can go ahead and we can chop that up, and maybe I can get you on the show and you can speak about it or things like that, man. It'd be pretty cool to have you on here. So NFL is kicking off. It's going to be doing this thing. I think training camps, when it comes to practices and allowing like the media in there, believe that starts in about a week or two, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned for that, man. Nick, rookies got to knuckle down and go get it, man. They have no chances of error, right? They have to be pretty much in all pro form and ready to play or ready to take somebody's spot. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes these smaller roster teams, right? Who's going to make the 55-man roster, right? Because Cats are going with the 80-man rosters to keep the number size down, opposed to like the 90-man roster. So they're going with shorter rosters and things like that. And it's going to be interesting how the football season plays out, bearing that there's a football season, because that could be something we could be talking about soon too, depending on how things kind of like fare out with what's going on. All right. We know about the stadiums, we know about the fans, we know how teams are refunding, season ticket holders and teams like that. And we know that there's I believe that I got 3, and it could be more, but I know of 3 teams that will not be hosting fans. That's the New York Football Jets, that's the New York Giants, and that's what was the other team? I want to say it's not the Raiders. Is it the Raiders? Could be the Raiders. I'm not sure, but I know there are 3 teams out there that I know of for sure that will not be having fans in the stadiums in the 2020 season. All right. So that's going to be very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting, man. I do thank you guys for tuning in. I'm not done yet. I'm going to talk for like another 10 minutes, and then we're going to go on and get up out of here, man. I'm going to give my special thanks. Rob, what's going on, brother? Let me see. You guys got some questions, so let's put these out here. Bay Lost Wages says, I wonder why the NFLPA doesn't try and put a stop to Thursday night football. We know why the owners want it. Greed. That's a great question, bro. If you don't understand, maybe people don't really understand the wear and tear on a Thursday night football game to the players' bodies, and maybe their mentalities. If you ever watch the Thursday night football game, let me ask you this question. Are they high scoring? Nah. Rob says it's Buffalo. Or are you from Buffalo? I know where you're from, but are you saying Buffalo is not having fans too, because they are a city in city in New York? That's a good question, Bay. And it will be, I'm not going to be 100% with you on it, because it would be so awkward not to have Thursday night football. And that's just me being a football fan. I like to see football on Monday, Thursday, Saturdays when we can get it, and Sundays. I like to see it, just because it's so hard to not. Football season they don't play often as baseball players, and they don't play as often as basketball players. At least basketball, you get, you get your team to play a couple of nights. Um, Football, it's once a week. And I get it. It's the wear and tear on the body. Royce says players agreed to Thursday night in the negotiations. And that's a good point. Like, the players actually said they wanted to play because it's another game they get a check. So I know that the owners are making money, but like Roy says, the players are making money as well because it's another game that they get paid for. So it's a very, you know, treading in the water type topic. You know what I'm saying? Eh, should there be football on? Listen, the NFLPA already look. I never thought I would see this, and this has been a thought or a topic for a long time. Let me ask you this question: did you ever think that you would see preseason being canceled? No, I never thought I would see the NFL forego the preseason. And thanks to the NFLPA, it happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. My man Nick says from Shan Club NFL, the soccer over here was fine without fans in the stands. No home field advantage on third down. You know what? I'm starting to I like being a Celtics fan and an NBA fan and watching teams play. I think I've watched more NBA teams play since the COVID lockout stop than I've ever watched in my entire life. And it was because I actually got to watch teams play without fans, like kind of like just making me want to turn the game off. I'm not just talking about watching the Celtics play. And this is a good point. Like having fans, like not having fans there, it definitely takes away the home field advantage. And I'm hoping that the NFL follows suit, like the NBA, like the NHL, like Major League Baseball, they're doing a great job without fans. No disrespect to the fans, no disrespect to us. We definitely add another element to the game for the players, but I think you're getting players to perform like exceptionally better with fans just not being there criticizing them all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point. I mean, you got guys like TJ Warren, who is just and we're shifting to the NBA, who's just scoring out of his mind. There's nobody there watching him. All his fans are watching him at home on television. And then if football can do something like the same thing, baseball got cutouts. And I know it's weird. I know a lot of baseball fans, a lot of MLB fans are like, yo, that is awkward. I'm what am I looking at? Listen, shout out to the organizations in MLB. They got the music pumping. They got the fan cheer, not noise, crowd noise pumping. When the home run hits, they're going crazy. Like, shout out to the MLB. I think they got the audio. I know the visual looks weird, and I'm gonna give it to the NBA on this one, and maybe because the NBA is just a little bit smaller. But the NBA got the visual on lock, right? You got the interactive fans there. Now, I will point this out. The NFL did this first. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the NFL draft, because the NFL draft had interaction from the fans live during the draft as they were drafting. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of that during the season. It's not often we're looking at fans, other than when, it goes to some type of commercial break or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then you get to see a fan doing some kind of crazy cheer or whatnot. That's pretty much like the only time you really want to see what's going on with the fans. But other than that, I want to see the players on the field, man. I want to hear what they're saying. I want to, now we get to hear all the bad words and all that good stuff, the stuff that they kind of like hide behind all the other noise and things like that. So shout out to all the sports and all the organizations for kind of like getting the fans involved and getting the noise under control and all that good stuff. All right. So that's a big shout out, man. Huge shout out. A couple of more things I want to talk about before we go ahead and get off here. Guys, fantasy football is on its way. The NFL season is about to start. I think September 13th. That weekend we got football It's going to be pumping. If you haven't done your fantasy NFL draft yet, no, this is not a promo. My question to you though is, I got there's five apps or sites that I like to use. All right. There's three to me that are just superior over out of the five. So I want to talk about this, and I'll put a poll up later. I'll probably put it up on the Wayne Breezy account because I have more people that I interact with over there. But if you go and follow me at Shoot the Breeze, you know what I'm saying. Hold on, let me put the right one up. If you follow me on Twitter here, I would love to talk to you from here. I like to keep my sports here, whatever like that. And if we could do that, that'd be amazing. So make sure you give a follow. But guys, which app or which site do you guys feel like is best, right? So you got ESPN, you have Yahoo, you have the NFL. I know many of you don't know about CBS. And then I know none of you know about Fox. That was probably a double negative, so it sounded weird. Many of you don't know about Fox. So Fox has their thing too. I don't really like their app, but I definitely have played on it before. You have to get online and things like that. CBS is a little bit awkward, so it's not pretty much one of my faves, but my top three would be NFL, Yahoo, and ESPN, and that's in no order. But I'm gonna put out a poll because we're gonna have this on an episode, right? Bay Lost Wages says Yahoo, and I wonder why. Like, they each have their strengths. I'm not sure. The one thing I love about Yahoo, Yahoo has two things, excuse me, that I like over the other ones. All right, number one, when you're drafting in Yahoo, and let's just say you're not paying 100% attention. You're not paying 100% attention. You're not giving, you're there. You probably have your board set up there or whatnot, and it like when you do look, it lets you know like who you can be projected to draft by your next turn. I like that aid. I think that's a pretty cool aid to have because sometimes, if I'm doing a real draft, I'm 100% locked in. Like nothing else matters. I got a cell phone, an iPad, and a computer laptop, which I'm doing three different things. One's pulling up players, injuries, stats, all that. Like one's pulling up like where they're playing, what the weather is going to be projected like when they're playing, and then the other one is just like following on the app, right? So I'm making sure. I mean, I do take it seriously. I'm making sure that I'm pretty much zoned in, especially in a paid league. When we're just talking about having fun, man, that's one of the factors I love about Yahoo. And then the other factor is I like that you get kind of like a draft grade in your email at the end, depending on how well you draft. And I know many of us with my hand raised have received an F. And you do your best to not end the season that way. Some of us have received A pluses, and you do your best not to receive, you do your best to end the season that way. You want to come out on top in the victory. And, some of us just draft average, we draft in the middle of the range. Everyone has their strategies, and I would love to know some of your draft strategies, man. We'll figure that out later on as we go along. Do you draft running backs? Do you draft quarterbacks? Do you draft, some people go ahead and go, there's a couple of quarterbacks, they'll go out there and say, I'm getting in the first round. And it's funny because my brain won't allow me to draft a quarterback in the first round. And I'm always mad when I play that team that drafted the quarterback in the first round. So I'm trying to get my brain to like steer away from tradition when it comes to drafting. All right. Now, there are many different types of leagues. We're going to have a whole fantasy football show where we kind of like break down the different types of leagues. You got your PPRs and your standard leagues and, your keepers leagues and things like that. So we'll do that on another episode. But I just wanted to get your feedback, guys. What do you guys think, man? What is your favorite fantasy football app or site? There's other apps out there. I know with my Nothing But Niners group, we use something totally different. And it's a keepers league. And see, when they asked me to be in the league, I didn't listen to everything they were saying. It was just like, yo, you want to be in the league? And I'm like, yep. You know what I'm saying? And I just quickly accepted it. But I didn't draft right. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to trade with you. Like, and I'm not thinking that it's a keepers league. So I'm trading away like young people that just aren't doing well, not realizing that they're going to be on those teams next year, probably doing a great job, yo. So that's called this. We use the Sleeper app for that. And it's, I got to go and figure out my team. Matter of fact, in NFL news, running back Darius Geis is out for the season. He got cut. due to his he violated some people. He violated a lady, and he's no longer on the team. They cut him without like even questioning him. Like he turned himself in, got cut just like that. And Ron Rivera put out and said, "Listen, culture change starts now." Like they're not having it. And I love it. I love it that the NFL is standing by that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty yo, they pull one up on me, babe. They got me, yo, because I was the young pup, you know what I'm saying? I'm the rookie in the league. Yo, it's so cool. It's so cool now that I think about it. I'm the rookie, so I took the blunt. So now I gotta go and there's no draft. So like, how do we get new players? We gotta figure this out. I gotta figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we do get to redraft or something, and I don't know. But all I know is I gotta revamp my team. But yeah, Darius Geis is out, man. He got cut. He's no longer in NFL. Well, he's no longer on a team. He didn't get kicked out of the league, but he's no longer on the team. Guys, we're gonna end the show on this one. I wanted to talk a little bit about fashion. That's something that I love, man. You can see I wear different kinds of hats. I love hats. I love frames and things like that. I love to look, somewhat fly. It's the East Coast in me. I'm a Connecticut native, but I love New York. All right, and then I love LA. So it's funny. I love the East Coast West Coast thing. That was me growing up in the 80s and the 90s. But we're gonna end on this, guys. We got let's talk a little about video games. Madden 21 drops August 25th. I want to know what your thoughts about it. Some of you guys have played, the version that was released a little while ago. Some of you guys got to play that version. I call it the pilot version, and no one would give me a code so I can play with it. And it's fine because I wouldn't have been able to use the 49ers. But some of you guys got a handle on what's going on. Some of you guys like the features and things like that, even though the teams were limited. And I would love to know your thoughts, man. Feel free, if you did get a chance to play it, feel free to shoot me an email. All right. And we could talk a little bit about that. And it's going to be really cool. NBA 2K21 drops on September 4th. And I definitely made sure. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. I definitely made sure I copped the Kobe edition. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. And may he rest in peace. And it was still that's still tragic to me. Just when it happened and how it happened and things like that. Never saw it happening. But I'm glad that the NBA 2K franchise is honoring him and uplifting him and his legacy in that particular game. And it would be really crazy if really cool if they do something for his daughter as well. That would be really cool. Especially since she's supported by the WNBA heavily. And then you got FIFA. So, I'm sitting and I'm getting a text message. I have a little 2K chat, right? And I get a text message from my 2K chat and they post a FIFA video in there. And I'm like, no, FIFA, please listen. I am not biased when it comes to soccer. I actually used to play soccer. I just can't keep up with FIFA because there's so many teams and so many different players I would have to get accustomed to, and I wouldn't know where to start. I'm not going to be the only time I really watch soccer when it's the World Cup, and that's when it's really interesting. But the new FIFA drops October 6th. They put the video in the group chat, and I'm just sitting there saying, this look fire. Now, new systems drop. PS5, Xbox, the new Xbox. They will be dropping soon. So guys, I know how I am. I know I don't have a lot of money, but I know I'm probably gonna make sure when I ordered the 2K, I got the game. It's going to come with the game now because I want to play it now, and then it's going to come with the version for the new Xbox. Whenever it is, I get the new Xbox, and things like that, and or the PS5, and then Madden. I'm not sure what Madden is doing when it comes to the newer system. I hope I don't have to rebuy the game because I definitely bought it already, and I can't wait to play it. I got it for PS4, so I can't wait to play. I'm just crazy. I just like to use the new players on my team. And I told myself I'd never buy a few, and that's exactly why, Nick. This is why. This is why I don't buy FIFA. It is hard to play, and I always get beat. Dude, I was winning like 3-0, and I thought I had him. I really did. I really said I got him, and then I got beat 5-3. That should never happen. And I'm tired of almost breaking stuff too. Video games for me are they release stress, but sometimes they kind of like add on some new stress. So with that being said, be mindful out there, guys. Listen, that's going to be the show. I really wanted to keep it under 30 minutes for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you spread the word, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed what it is I'm gonna have to bring. I promise I will make sure I bring the energy, the thunder, the fire, the bam, the whatever it is, the thank you, ma'am, all that good stuff. And I can't wait to chat with you at the next show. Make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. I know it's probably hard to find because I don't have a URL for it yet. That's why I'm trying to get those 100 subscribers. So my 100th subscriber will be featured on a show, and maybe I'll give them some apparel. Speaking of apparel, before we get out of here, guys, I have some apparel here. All right, you can go right there. Let's see if I can get that to stream across. All right, that'd be pretty cool. All right, so I have some apparel, man. If you go to www.teespring.com /shoot-the-breeze-apparel, I know that's a lot. It's not like it's my site. You're going to see some really cool things up there. Listen, we got stuff for the ladies. We got stuff for the fellas. Right now, I got tees up there for the fellas, and I got some tank tops up there for the ladies, like the girly tank tops, the loose fit ones, and things like that. I know girls like to be comfortable. We got some leggings up there for the women. We got some custom socks up there, and they come in all the colors, so it's pretty cool. So if you want to rock your favorite team in their colors, the green joints look dope for the Celtics. The red joints look dope for the Niners. The blue and orange joints look dope for the Mets. But if you want to rock your favorite team's colors, man, they're up there. Also, we have the cloth, 100% cloth masks that go around, so you can get those as well. And guys, I will be on Shant Club NFL show this Saturday. Also, I believe tonight I'm going to be on. I think there's a podcast tonight that I'm doing tonight with my brother V. George Smith. And that is going to be a great podcast that you're going to want to catch out. So make sure you're following him as well on Twitter, V. George Smith. And Hello Beautiful People podcast. That's going to be really cool. We really talk about just things that are going on in life and things like that. And it's pretty cool to get that stuff out. And before we get off the air, I want to send a happy birthday shout out to my best friend in the whole wide world, Miss Tawana. Happy birthday. You are entering your 30s. You look good. You sound good. She's also an artist. She can sing. Her name is LOV. Make sure you give her a follow. She does her thing in the studio performance-wise. She's really good. I wanted to give her a happy birthday shout out. Today is her birthday, 8/10. And all the 8/10 birthday people out there, happy birthday to you. No, I don't feel like singing right now. I'm going to have to do that later. So happy birthday. And before we go and get up out of here, I just want to give her a few shout outs. Yo, my graphic designer, Mr. Steve Mullen, he designed the Shoot the Breeze logo and the stuff that you see in the back, man. Give him a follow. It's right there. You can follow him on Twitter and IG. Give him a follow if you're looking for things to be designed. He's really good and very quick turnaround time as well. Like that kind of like blew my mind. I was like, yo, I need this. And then like 3 hours later, it was in my inbox. I'm like, no way. And I also want to give a special shout out to my man, Qualo. Man, listen. I said, dude, I want to do something different. I could rap, I can sing, I could do all those things, but I made this beat and I really want like this spoken word type, energetic type thing for my intro. You know what I'm saying? I want something different. And he was like, I got you. Give me a couple of days. So make sure you give him a follow at Negro Protein on Instagram. Give him a follow. He does very good work. If you need any type of spoken word, if you need him to write you something, a song or whatnot, and you want to say it, he can do that as well. So make sure you give him a follow on Instagram. And thank you guys for tuning in, man. You guys have been real. Woo! That was a lot. Look, I'm super excited to bring you guys more shows. So I like. This was the breath of fresh air, man, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you guys who are already subscribed to the channel, and thank you guys who are following me already. We're gonna go on and get out of here. Make sure you follow me at Shoot the Breeze 6. That's on Twitter right there. I'm trying to get the Twitter following up and pumping and all those good things. So make sure you go ahead and give that a follow, man. And we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. We truly appreciate you guys, man. Knock them out the park. Make sure you continue to shoot the breeze.
From football to alley hooping, basketball a win is a win, and that's shoot the breeze. So if you